birth of one who is the father of the robotics. Okay, and do you know who is the famous robotist? Actually, Joseph Engelberg. Okay, so he is the famous robotics and first real robot ஓட name என்னன்னு தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கு? So that is to be the a digitally operated and programmable robot was invented by George Deville in 1954 and it was ultimately called as a Unimate. Okay, and these are all the information which related to the robotics. Okay, so this is about the expandable bladder type grippers. The next one we are need to know what are the factors which is required for the selection of a gripper. What are the factors which is required for the selection of a gripper? Okay, uh, so first when selecting a gripper, so we should consider for the any application should include appropriate finger length, grip force, stroke, actuation time, and accuracy. Okay, and orientations and dimensions. There is a which affects the gripper selection. So, and the next thing we have to consider the size, and similarly we have to check with the variations, everything and all. So apart from that, some of the factors which have been included here, the coefficient of friction between the gripper and the object, which may be also an important factor. Okay, not only the mass of the object, but also we have to consider the accelerations imposed on it by the robot. Okay, so this can often be increased by using one of the special rubber-based materials which have been developed. And apart from that, the use of these materials which can create maintenance issues, however, they will be having the finite life. And one way of reducing the gripping force was the பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா to use fingers designed for the form for the component. And similarly, it can able to reduce the flexibility of the gripper, but dramatically பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா it increase the weight carrying capacity. Okay, so weight cases பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா industrial robots வந்து which have a fixed lifting capability and the combined weight of the gripper வந்து and the grip component may be important. So even where this weight வந்து பார்த்தோம்னா in the capability of robot, it may cause an unacceptable increase in the cycle time of the operation. So this is between the robot plane and the center of mass, which may be the important one, it should be kept here. And the second thing, the factors which is needed to take over a supply of services. There is a within a robot end effect, it can lose cable or houses, something to be avoided, and it can increase size of the tool, and it is therefore preferable to route all services or signal connections to the robotic arm and then internally to the tool. The next factor we have to consider about its environmental capabilities. So the end effector has to be work in coastal environment. So high temperatures, just the presence of chemicals when the partner, the require special materials are designed to be used. The next thing to be the sensor capabilities. So some degree of sensory feedback from the gripper is necessary. So this may be a measurement of insertion or gripping force or may simply be proximally sensor. Okay, some standard grippers are provided with feedback to show the separation of the jaws, but most grippers have no feedback over it. So other factors on the pathona, it includes the speed of the gripper jaws, range of sizes of components, and the amount of maintenance required is also important to work here. But also they use either springs to apply the gripping force or not. Tool as an end effector. So tool it is equipped in the robot for carrying out the several operations. So this tool will act as an end effector when it is attached directly to the robot cells. In some applications on data, there will be a need for multiple tasks, which will change the tool all the time from the robot wrist will be high difficult. So as a result, the gripper is used in the process to grasp and manipulate the tool. Okay, it certainly helps the robot to handle several tools in an operation, because it makes the multi-tooling function possible. Moreover, the time taken, which is too good. In robot applications, uses 3 tools as an end effectors over on it: part welding tool, spray painting nozzle, arc welding tab. And we'll have a rotating spindles for operations, drilling, routing, wire brushing, and grinding. And apart from that, we'll have a liquid cement applications for assembly, heating presses, and water jetting tools. And finally, we'll have a unilateral or multilateral. Unilateral name uni, which indicates only one point or surface touching the object. Whereas the case of multilateral, we'll have more than 2 points of surface the components to be handled. Okay, we'll have vacuum thread gripper and electromagnetic gripper. So I've shown an example problem, which is the gripper is simply pivot type. The gripper force is calculated in the as the 60 lb. The gripper is to be activated. So the responding lever. So the analysis will be having a FGLG minus FALA. So you have to calculate the what is the force of acceleration. So we're getting of a 240 lb over on it. Okay. So this is the way. These are all the inputs which is behind in the thing over there. Okay. So by that the second unit gets over. Thank you.